That is so sad, man. Yeah, I do. I had this fucking psychological thing with commercials. I tell the story about I was watching Captain Satellite, and I was quite a few years preschool, maybe 4 years old. And I watched a commercial for cereal, and they showed a rocket blasting off, and you got a rocket in the cereal box. And I thought, well, that I got to have one of those. I'm going to go to the moon. I had it all planned out. I had it all planned out. You know, what I was going to take. I think about back now, and it's kind of cute, but then when the cereal showed up, and I was like, well, where's the rocket? And and she said, well, they just said that so that you would buy the cereal. They just said that so you would buy the cereal. And then she explained commercials to me. My mom always treated me like an adult. And I was shocked that people got to lie, which I thought was bad, to try to trick you by showing something that wasn't true to get you to buy something. So yeah, it started then. It started then. I watched these. Oh, you're not a man unless you take this. You need like engorge. These washed up, sports athletes who can't get a job doing anything else basically are willing to whore themselves out to companies that want to prey on the weakest, men in our society. Man, the first thing that tells me is that men in this country are terrified of growing old gracefully. They will fight it tooth and claw. And I've seen women do the same thing where they're like 85 years old and their makeup is caked on because they think that makes them look younger when they really look like a clown. So you know that up here, the picture they have in their mind of themselves is something different than reality. And so they tell these guys, oh, you can't get it up? Oh, take this and you'll just be able to fuck for a week, man. Take this shit here and you're gonna, all the women are gonna fall in love with you because you can have sex for a long time. Oh, is that what you think? What the hell? How can how can how can a normal, balanced, guy think that that's why women are gonna fall in love with you? Nothing could be further from the truth, brother. I'm sorry. Okay. If you if you have a medical issue, that's different. That can be treated. But psychological, there's nothing anyone can do about that. Okay. If I was one of my sisters and some guy wanted to date me who took this stuff because he could have sex longer with it, I would immediately know how shallow that person was, and that would be it. Lose my phone number. So sad. Or the other vulnerable people in our society, the people who always think they're sick, and a commercial comes on and tells them to tell their doctor to ask for this medicine because it's set up so that if you ask for it, the doctor can give it to you and then he gets a kickback. The medical industry is so fucked up. It's just tragic. Take this to possibly, maybe, might help your symptoms. It's not going to cure the disease. Could help your symptoms, possibly, maybe. But you can have all of these 55 different side effects, some of them which are fatal. And I've always talked about how they changed the male to female voice, right? So that it doesn't sound as alarming when they talk about seeping pustules and square babies and, no sperm and, terminal this, terminal that, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, you know what I mean? Exploding eyeballs, going bald. I mean, the fucking list just goes on and on and on and on. And some of them are fatal. So that they can charge your insurance company $12,000 a month for this shit. That's just as likely to kill you or harm you as it is to help you. It's not worth the risk. If it comes to a rRNA vaccine, 100% I'm behind that because I know what the numbers look like. But when I look at these drugs who are pushed through and what goes on behind the scene for getting a drug approved and all the lying and the cheating and the scamming and shit that has happened throughout history, all of the, thalidomide, all of the things that should never have been sold that were sold, and later on there's all these lawsuits. No one gives a fuck. I prefer a natural cure every time over standard medicine unless I need standard medicine, right? If you need an antibiotic or something like that, well then you can rely on modern medicine. The quacks are the ones on TV trying to sell you something and tell your doctor that you need this. And there's an especially egregious one going on right now. I won't say whose name it is, but you'll know who it is, where they're talking about this is what it's for, but may cause weight loss. They say that 5 times in the commercial. Could have a drastic weight loss. Your weight could go down drastically. It's not meant for that, but that's what people are hearing. So I find that just how do they get away with that shit? Well, I guess it's legal. So now you're gonna have people that don't have this disease that are gonna just be, you know, thirsting after this drug because it's a quick, easy, fast weight loss solution in their mind. When in reality, if you read what could happen to you, because you see if they're like, oh well, that's something minor, a little a little rash on your skin or something. You know what I mean? If I take it, it shouldn't do anything bad to me. And then you read the possible effects that it can have on you, other than helping you with your rash, which some of them are fatal. But the list is long. I don't know. Commercials and me just have never gotten along, which is why I pay more to have DirecTV so I can just 60-second, 30-second pushes on my controller to go through commercials. Or I'll do a video like I'm doing right now while it plays. Especially if it's an online content creator that I like that's doing something, he's making something from nothing and entertaining me at the same time, I'll watch his commercials because YouTube pays attention to that. But as far as television, no, I fucking pay DirecTV for TV. Why am I watching commercials? Well, that's how the industry screwed us big time. Okay, there was a time when over the air was free, and then there was cable television. Now, cable television was HBO and Showtime. If you said you had cable, that meant you had HBO. And then slowly but surely, MTV, slowly but surely, uh, cable companies started being populated with regular TV channels until now we have what we have. And almost everyone has the same channels trying to convince you that theirs is the way to go. Okay. So we tried 2 commercial-free programs so far. Okay. Um, and they all had different tiers of commercial free, and I'm like, what the fuck, what do you mean different tiers of commercial free? It's either commercial free or it's not commercial free, or I know you're trying to scam me. Oh well, you got a level 2.657 subparagraph over here where it says that we get to show you all the commercials except for during these hours of the day. It's literally that fucking bad. So both of them that we tried had commercials. The ones that we tried that didn't have commercials. It was for not for their TV section, but it was for their content that they had. So I started looking at content, and all of those had commercials. And I made this video 3 years ago. The only show that had no commercials that went from episode to episode was Preacher. That was it. Everything else that I wanted to watch, there may have been more, but everyone I wanted to watch had commercials. So what is commercial free? Is there no fucking commercials? Period? You know, when there's no commercials on a TV program, you know what the commercial is? If the commercial is to watch their channel. The Discovery Channel is just disgustingly bad that way. The Discovery Channel can't sell enough ads, so they make their own commercials about their own channel on their affiliates and their own channels to watch their channel. You can be watching the show and you get a commercial about watching the fucking show that you're watching at that moment. So yeah, that's a very it's right up there with insurance and car salesman as far as I'm concerned. It's disgusting. It's it's putting lipstick on a pig, or almost all of it is bad, not factual, hyped, looks of idiotic glee, lots of dancing and beautiful scenery and cars up on the pillars of rock with a beautiful woman, okay? But they don't tell you that, well, this engine has failed more than any other engine that we've ever produced. See, that's a fact I'd like to know before I go and buy your fucking car. The truth is you're not going to tell me that in your commercial. So they get to lie, basically, because they're showing entertainment that's comedic. That's why Liberty Mutual, stay clear of Liberty Mutual Insurance. They are tragically fucking bad liars, okay? We were with them on premium for 2 years, and they fucked us on a mirror on the Honda and lied, and lied. They hadn't even found a mirror, let alone the color we needed, and they said that we were under the $250 limit for painting, for getting the mirror, installing it, which we all know, if anyone's rational up here, you know that you're not going to get a Honda Fit mirror replaced, painted, okay, and installed for $250, under $250, $245 to be exact. Liberty Mutual, they will fuck you for any amount of money, let alone many thousands. If they will go through as much trouble as they did with us to fuck us out of $245, okay? No. Not interested in the least bit. That's why all of their commercials are comedy. Watch them. They're all comedic. None of these companies can compete because they're all selling the same product and they're all trying to convince you theirs is better. That is what commercials are for. Commercials are not to sell a product. Commercials are to sell more of the product than your competitor. That's why you need commercials, because I can tell you right now, if you make something that everyone wants and you can't make enough, you don't need to have commercials. If it's a good product, you don't need commercials. If it works the way you fucking say it does with your dancing fucking idiots telling me how fantastic and I gotta have it, okay? You wouldn't need commercials. So, yeah. Can't stand them in any form.